Hey everyone, Shashank this side. I hope you all are doing well today and safe at home. As you can see on my screen, topic for today is CloudEndure migration. So you can automate your migration to AWS Cloud with the help of CloudEndure as a tool. So CloudEndure was a different company before and now AWS owns this company and providing this tool as part of our migration services within AWS platform. So I have jotted down few points regarding CloudEndure, like why you want to use CloudEndure, what are the benefits, on which mechanism CloudEndure works on, like the architectural flow. So let's go through this first and then we'll have a practical demo. So cloud migration does not need to be complex, time consuming and costly endeavor, right? So generally when we talk about any kind of migration or migrating your workload from on-premise data center to AWS cloud or any other cloud, what exactly we look for? An easy migration, less time consuming, plus we have to take care of the cost. Because if we don't architect our system in a proper way on cloud, we will be going to pay hell lot of cost. So that is something has to be taken care very carefully while migrating any environment to any cloud vendor. I'm not talking about specific to Amazon Web Services, I'm talking about a cloud platform in general. So CloudEndure migration simplifies, expedite, and reduce the cost of cloud migration by offering a highly automated lift and shift solution. So lift and shift is basically a rehosting platform solution where, let's say if you have 100 servers running on Windows 2016 or Ubuntu 18.04, you will be going to rehost the same system to your cloud environment. And that's where different set of tools comes into picture which help us to migrate the system like a lift and shift solution with the same set of replica whatever we have in on-premise data center. That's where CloudEndure also works and provides us services which help us to migrate our system from one environment to AWS cloud in a simplified manner. So every enterprise company looking to quickly rehost large number of AWS machines, not AWS machines like machines to AWS, where we can use CloudEndure migration without worrying about compatibility, performance disruption, or long cutover windows. So let's talk about like a normal migration. Whenever we try to upgrade or whenever we try to do a migration, what basically we do, we take a downtime window, let's say 8 hours. Within 8 hour of window we have to perform a migration like from one system to another system, and for that particular duration 8 hours is a long time. That's a traditional way of doing the migration, right? Where you have to keep your application down, nothing will be coming in or going out of your environment. But when it comes to migrating to your AWS cloud or any other cloud environment, the migration is now more simplified. Any re-architecture that needs to be done can be performed more easily after your machines are running into your cloud environment. And again, I'm not referring to Amazon Web Services only. It can be Azure, it can be Google, it can be Oracle or IBM. So in general, cloud migration or migrating in environment to cloud is more beneficial with less downtime and easy manner. Coming back to CloudEndure migration, it conducts continuous block level data replication of your source machine into staging area in AWS account without causing any downtime or impacting performance. So CloudEndure is an agent based tool. You have to install an agent to your source machine where it will try to replicate the data into your AWS cloud environment. So we will get two kind of environment when you proceed with the migration along with CloudEndure. One is staging area, that will be like a replica of your on-premise system or from Azure to AWS or Google Cloud to AWS. And once everything goes well, then you can cut over to the production environment with a minimal downtime. So we are getting two kind of environment over here. Testing area, once that is done, you can have the validation done quickly. Once everything is fine, then we can cut over to the production environment. I will be going to show you everything from the CloudEndure point of view, how you can do a migration, a real-time migration. So when you are ready to launch the production machines, CloudEndure migration automatically converts your machine from their source infrastructure into AWS infrastructure so that they can boot up and run natively in AWS. That's how simple mechanism that CloudEndure follows. You just have to install an agent. Agent will start communicating to your AWS environment, CloudEndure console. Once that is done, staging area will get created. Once you're validated with the staging area, the production cutover can be done anytime with less downtime. And as I said, it's an agent based tool. What are the benefits that we are getting over here? Easy migration, increased uptime, so there will be a less maintenance downtime window. Plus, the cost will be drastically go down when it comes to CloudEndure migration from your on-premise data center to AWS or from any other environment to AWS. Next part is like how the mechanism flow happens when it comes to CloudEndure. Okay, so that's a mechanism flow where we have CloudEndure console, which gets the reporting of every data, every kind of progress once we install an agent to the source system. So this is our source system where CloudEndure agent will get installed, and the target system where we get two set of environment. One is staging, one is production. Once you're done with the staging environment, the validation and everything, then you can cut over with a minimal downtime to the production environment. So I'm going to tell you this in a detail. So to start with, we have to install agent first on the selected source machine which we want to migrate. The agent installation doesn't require reboot, nor it impact your system performance in any noticeable way. Agent connects to a self-service portal which is CloudEndure console. It's a web-based console where then the agent issues an API call to the selected target AWS region to create staging area in the customer AWS account, so which is our AWS account, right? So EC2 instances that act as a replication server and low-cost staging EBS volume. Each source disk is mapped to an identical size, low-cost EBS volume. Okay, so whatever, let's say for example we have 100 gigs of storage on-premise data center. So on the staging area, if the usage is less than that, then we can have a less EBS volume created over there, which will be taken care by the CloudEndure. In that case, you don't have to pay for 100 gigs of storage, right? So once that is done, you have to validate staging area is completed. You have to validate the staging area, and then after validation, everything goes well, then we can cut over to the production environment. So convert your EC2 instance and EBS volume to the production environment. So that's how the mechanism, it's a simple mechanism, guys, where CloudEndure agent do most of the work, and you will see the progress in CloudEndure console. So I hope this clears a lot in terms of the concept and the mechanism flow that CloudEndure provides. So now let's jump to our AWS Management Console and check how we can use CloudEndure. So this is my AWS Management Console. Let's go to services. CloudEndure comes as part of Migration Hub. Now Migration Hub, I have already done a demo on Migration Hub, the concept and the configuration, what are the components that you get with Migration Hub within AWS. So if you're not aware of Migration Hub, please watch my last video so that you can get more understanding on the Migration Hub as a service. Okay, so this is a dashboard of Migration Hub. Here you can see CloudEndure and AWS company. Now, CloudEndure is free now. It's not chargeable. It's just like whatever you are using, like migrating one system to another system, you have to get charged for that. But as a service, CloudEndure is free. Let's click register. So we have to register for our CloudEndure. Now we have to give our business email. I'm going to give my email ID. So let me have this done first, and I'll resume it back. Okay, so my account is activated. So I've just given my email ID. I got an email for the confirmation. I click the confirmation link, and this is the next page that I have received. So sign in to CloudEndure. Click on this. That's no. Okay. So even I don't remember my email ID. Let me have my. This is the link that I received. Okay. Password. Okay, sign in. So that's how our CloudEndure console, the user console, looks like. It's taking a bit of time. I want to save a password. Yes, work in CloudEndure centered around projects. Let's click on start. Okay, project is not set up. Continue. Now, here we have to do few things. You have to set up AWS credentials, which is your AWS access key and secret key. So make sure you run it as an administrator. That's something I prefer most of the time. So I'm an admin to my projects. So better to have an admin role assigned to your access key and secret key, the user that you will be going to use for these kind of migration, so that you don't face any issues when it comes to the permission side, right? Now this is the console, the dashboard. I'm into a default project. You can create your own project under migration. Okay, project not set up yet. So we have to do a few things. Staging area account credential. In order for the service to work, you need to provide a credentials on the Amazon side. You can see the permissions over here, but as I said, I'll be going to use my admin credentials within AWS. Replication settings. You first enter the credential and everything will be get started. License part, migration 0 out of 10,000, sorry, 100,000, and expiration date is 2023, which is good. Okay, so let's go to AWS first. IAM, because I don't have any account created. Okay, so users. So click on my user ID. I'm the admin for this account. Security credentials. Again, I don't remember the secret key, so let's create a new one. Copy. Where is CloudEndure? That's an access key. Let's copy secret key. Perfect. Click on save. This will take few seconds. Then the replication settings. As of now, we are just trying to set up our project, which is a default one. So migration source, from where you want to do a migration. Is it like from AWS to AWS or from other infrastructure to AWS? So if you click other infrastructure, like from Azure, GCP, or on-prem, you can select that. So I'm going to show you today from Azure to AWS. Okay, so let's click on other infrastructure, and again you can do like from AWS to AWS as well, but it's better. I'll show you. The concept remains similar, whether it can be AWS to AWS or Azure to AWS or GCP to AWS or on-prem to AWS. I just want to show you how you can take other vendor, other cloud vendor, because I don't have on-premise setup. So I'll select my Azure environment and move that machine to AWS. Target region where you want to go with. So I'm going with Northern Virginia. Okay, perfect. Replication server setups are the small machines that use to facilitate data replication. They are automatically launched in the staging area, discarded when no longer needed. Okay, so choose the replication server instance type. So based upon the size of your VM, you can select this. I'm searching for something small, T2. So where is T2 Micro? Our famous T2 Micro, the free version of our EC2 instance. Okay, choose the converter instance type. Okay, which instance type you want to choose, right? The default is based upon the AZ, and again I just want to choose T2 itself because that's a free version and I don't want to pay anything extra for that. T2 to T2. You want to use a dedicated replication server, you can do that with fast SSD data disk, and here is an option, use slower low cost standard data disk. Okay, so okay, so let's select. If you don't select this, that's fine, that's not an issue. Choose the default subnet. Now subnet I have, you can see like it has picked up the subnets where I want to go with. So let's select public subnet 1. Choose the security group and I'll be going to have this one added over here. Use VPN or direct connect using private IP. I don't have any VPN or direct connect. That's something you can take an advantage when you do it from your on-prem environment to AWS Cloud. Enable volume encryption. If you click this, you have to choose the encryption key. For now, I don't want to do that. I don't have an encryption key. Those are the old ones that I don't want to use. Let's click on dedicated replication because it is fast SSD. That will take less time. This is the tagging on the staging area. Value should be like Azure to AWS. Network bandwidth throttling. So this option allows you to regulate your network traffic and minimize the bandwidth congestion. You can enable this option if you want to control the transfer rate. Otherwise, it's not required. By default, it is disabled. So let's select save replication settings. Name is reserved and may not be used. Okay, so what to use? Or let's leave, that's not required. Save. Your project is set up, show me how. Here we go, how to add machines. In order to add machines to this user console, install the CloudEndure agent. Data replication begins automatically upon the agent installation. This is the token for Linux system. This is the step for Windows machine. These are the steps. Next step, we have to install an agent. So I already have a machine running on my Azure environment, which is MySQL Ubuntu. I'm connected to that system and this is my data that will be going to get migrated. So it has only one table with these values. Okay, let's do that first. Let's see the steps what we have to follow. So your agent installation token is this. First of all, we have to download an agent, copy and run. Let me exit MySQL. Okay, enter. It's downloaded. Next, I'm already part of sudo. We have to run the installer. Enter. Now, CloudEndure agent is getting downloaded and installed on the system. So we just have to wait for a few seconds. It gets completed generally within a minute or so. So once this is done, then we'll be able to see something on our CloudEndure user console because it will start communicating between Azure environment and AWS, and it will create a machine within AWS environment which will be acting as our CloudEndure machine to migrate data between Azure and AWS. Okay, so we just have to wait for few minutes. Let's go to dashboard. Let's see if it's started something or not. Not yet. Machines, jobs in progress, nothing yet. Event logs. We can see attempting to install agent on a machine. Agent install initiated. We can see this. You can refresh it from here. So we have to wait. Let's go to So once this gets installed, I'm going to resume my video back. So agent is installed successfully on my Azure VM. So let's go to CloudEndure and we can see the name of a system, which is Hub. I'll show you the name in my Azure environment. It's called Hub. So let's go to CloudEndure. Initiating data replication. So it has created firewall rule. Replication server is also created. Replication server booted. Resolved CloudEndure service manager address in the replication server. Authenticated the replication server with CloudEndure service manager. Downloaded the replication software on the replication server. So let's go to EC2 instance, and here we go. We have only one system running. I have only one VM running, which is CloudEndure dedicated replication. So remember, we selected a dedicated replication server to be running for this particular migration. So this will be acting as our replication server, which is responsible for doing a data replication with the help of CloudEndure, with all the system, that is a software and systems that will be running on our replication server. So this will be like a via media that will help us to migrate the Azure VM to AWS. Let's go to CloudEndure again. As of now, the data replication is in progress. So let's see one more thing. Let's go to volume. Do we have something? Okay, we have a lot of volumes over here. So CloudEndure volume 31 gigs, 4 gigs, 8 gigs, and 1 gig. So this is getting deleted. That's the base snapshot. So again, whatever is getting used, it will remain in your system, but it will help also to delete which are not in use. So you don't have to pay for that particular environment. So let's go to our Azure environment disk. Okay, so we have 30 gigs. Ideally, we should get 30 gigs on our AWS volume section. Okay, perfect. So let's see. We have CloudEndure dedicated. Okay, perfect. This is getting deleted. Perfectly fine. So let's keep monitoring the environment over here, because now this will be going to take a bit of time. You can see initial sync is in progress now. Okay, so this will take bit of time for sure, where we have to wait for this to get completed, the replication state and everything. Now if you see the source, we already have like covered up few section over here, the name and identity that CloudEndure has come up with on the Azure side. It's an Ubuntu machine. If you go to the blueprint, that's where you have to fill up the form. Use this form to edit the properties of a target machine, which basically you want to have, like T2 Micro, M5 series, or X1 series, depend upon your requirement. And you can see the progress is getting completed over here. Replicated data is 1.98 gigs, which is going good. So target machines you intended to launch on AWS services, this will affect only the machine launched after you save the blueprint, not modify the machines already launched. We have marked the recommended machine type, which is calculated as per the RAM and CPU. So machine type, either you can select or it will get copied from the source based upon the RAM and the uses. So in Azure, it is running on one virtual CPU and I guess 2 or 4 gigs of RAM. What kind of instance type you want, dedicated, on demand, or dedicated host? We'll go with on demand. You want to create a new subnet or you want to use existing? I will use existing, which is my public. Security group, this is my famous security group that generally I use. Private IP 10.0.0.0.4. Let's see the private IP address of this machine. I don't remember it exactly. So it's 10.0.0.4. It's copied the same over here. We don't want elastic IP. If you want elastic IP, you can use that. I don't have existing, so just to SSH into the system, let's create a new one. We will get a public IP. IAM role, if you want, you can associate an IAM role as well. Initial target, tags and everything. This is a provisioned SSD because I'm using fast SSD. That's something, it's a premium disk attached to my Azure environment. Now machine type, obviously I'm going to have T2 micro over here. I don't want to pay something which I'm not going to use for next few weeks. So our favorite T2 micro, where is that? Here we go. Save the blueprint. So we just have to wait for few minutes. The blueprint has been saved. Based upon the blueprint, it will be going to have our instance launched in test mode and cutover. So as part of the architectural flow, if you remember, I told you we get two environment, test mode and cutover. Cutover is just for the production environment. So until unless this gets completed, the initial sync and everything, it's showing ETA as 17 minutes. So we just have to wait. Okay. So I'm going to have this video pause because I don't want you guys to see the screen doing nothing. But again, just for your information, if you want to see what is happening in background, go to the event log, and here you can see everything, the blueprint, that what we updated. Okay, these are the blueprints, agent install completed, and rest we have just updated our blueprint. So let's go to machines. Dashboard is showing nothing. There will be like one initial sync is happening. Again, if you want to go inside it, go to the machine section, click on hub or the machine name that what you have, and then once initial syncs get completed, it will show like a completed kind of status. So I'm going to have this video pause now. So our sync has been completed successfully. You can see it's a continuous data replication, never tested, and there is no lag, right? Now, the next step, how you can confirm that whatever has been migrated from Azure to AWS, it's working fine. So like there are like two ways. Either you can directly do a production cutover with this, or you can launch a target machine in a test mode. So click on launch, the drop down, click on test mode. You are about to launch one new instance in Virginia for one source machine that you have selected. Each source machine for which target machine is launched will be marked as having test. Okay, so click on continue. Target machine is being launched. See the job progress for detail. There we go. Click on job progress. Started waiting for the latest snapshots. So again, we have to wait for few seconds. And again, whatever you want to look at on the log side, click on the event logs. Still not populated yet. Still on the blueprint section. So it's a job progress. We have to wait, and it will create a snapshot, from snapshot to AMI, and then the instance, the converter basically. Now, before pausing this video, I just want to show you another thing in the migration hub. So if you remember with last video, when we install our agent, the migration hub showed two agents, two servers, right? Now the number of servers here are three. So if we go to the server section, you will see it's a hub.internalcloudapp.net CloudEndure. The source is CloudEndure. So everything is doing by CloudEndure. If you do it via SMS connector, like server migration service, you will see source as server migration service. So we are getting status within migration hub as well. Let's go back to CloudEndure console. Okay, do we have any update over here? Test launch initiated. Awesome. Let's see job progress. Finish waiting for the snapshot, starting machine conversion, finish the conversion and started creating the replica of the instance called hub. So let's go to EC2 console. We'll be going to have one instance created over here for sure. So the new one got created and terminated. It's a converter. Okay, it's created, converted the machine, and then terminated. Okay, the next step was like it's trying to launch an instance. So we just have to wait for few more minutes. Started creating the replica, so we have to wait. go to machines inside here. Okay, so replication settings and whatnot. Perfect. So let's wait for a few more minutes and we'll be going to see something over here itself. Let's click on AMI. Here we go. We have an AMI created and available. So the next step should be creating an instance. This will take a bit of time again because as per the logs, started creating the replica of an instance. So I'm going to have this video pause again. Okay, perfect. So as of now, test machine has been launched. You can see continuous data replication is showing as green. We got another tab called target. Let's click on that. That's an Azure VM. We have given that name type test. That's an instance ID. Public IP state is running. So let's click on machines as well. It shows green. Tested 12 minutes ago. Okay, perfectly fine. Let's go to instances. And here we go. We have an Azure VM with the same IP address. Okay, perfect. So that means our migration on the test machine has been successfully done. The next step is you have to do a cutover. Okay, so for cutover, go to the machines, click on the machine and launch one target machine. Click here and do a cutover. Now you are about to launch one new machine for one source you have selected. Each source in the target machine is launched will be marked as cutover and all those stuff. Click on continue and here we go. Test machine launch, see the job progress. Click on job progress. We have in progress one, started, waiting for the latest snapshot because data sync is running in parallel. So we have all the latest data. Now the latest snapshot, the same process will be going to happen again. So we just have to wait for a few more minutes for the cutover. It will hardly take like less than 5 minutes because I don't have much data on my MySQL database. So once this gets completed, we can say that our migration has been successfully performed. We are able to migrate our MySQL VM from Azure to AWS. So again, we have to wait for a few more minutes. So this will be the last mile for us. And once this gets completed, I'll show you the status. So our final cutover production instance is ready. You can see the launch cutover time and date. If we go to the job progress, it has deleted the old test machine that what we have provisioned in the test, that got deleted and created a new one. Okay, that's one thing. If you go to the target, you will get the same new information, the new instance, and the type is called cutover. If you remember the previous, during the test one, it was staying as test. Perfect. If you go to the event log, cutover instance initiated, that's the latest log we have in the dashboard. If you go to the dashboard, we have one instance ready with 2 disk 34 gigs. That's all information we have within CloudEndure console. If you get any stalled or if you require any attention, you will get everything on the dashboard itself on the CloudEndure. If we click on instances, this is the Azure VM, this is the public IP address, private IP address, all up and running from the security groups. What we selected, SSH, it has been sticked over here itself. All the settings has been replicated from previous instance to this instance. Perfect. So I hope this clears a lot in terms of how you can use CloudEndure as a migration tool in terms of the configuration, the concept, and the mechanism on which CloudEndure works, basically the architecture for. The best part of CloudEndure, what I like about is we get two set of environments. One is test. You can do all set of validation in the test environment. Once you're satisfied, just do a cutover with a minimal downtime. And agent installation or agent running on a system has no impact on your existing environment. That's something I have tested on my own. I have used CloudEndure for the migration purposes, and I haven't seen any impact on the existing system where agent is running. It's a flawless execution that you get with CloudEndure. You can use SMS as well, where you get a data replication in sync, but in SMS you just get AMI ID. Again, there will be also a minimal downtime, but as compared to CloudEndure, where you are getting two set of environment, which is a best suited scenario for any kind of migration. So just play around with your CloudEndure environment, create a test environment, migrate it over to AWS. You can do from AWS to AWS or Azure to AWS or on-prem to AWS. Totally depend upon the requirement that you are looking for. This is one of a good place to start with on the migration side. So place out a comment in comment section if you're facing any issue. I'll be there to help you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.